One thing I'm always grateful for is to have you on board, and you've made us international by listening to us and sharing our content. And now our content is available on both Spotify and YouTube. We are in Russia, United States of America. We are in the UK, United Kingdom. We are in Australia and Canada. Of course, Kenya remains to be our biggest following and our biggest audience. Today, we have the privilege of having one of the best digital marketers to ever do it, and their concepts are on fire. Their actualization of this concept is literally on fire because you tell me, how do you become a millionaire from just creating content? Welcome, Joel. Kindly introduce yourself to the world and tell them what you do.
Thank you for that introduction. My name is Joel M. Karaoke.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a thought-provoking speaker
Yes.
and a consultant,
Mm-hmm.
mainly on two channels, one on business and one on life.
Okay.
I delve deeper into the mindset of an individual because I realized a while back that you cannot have a balanced life when you just have life without business, and you just have business without life. So I use that to gather people and push that mindset that you can actually do the two. You can open up your mind to the possibilities of growing whatever it is you have without limitations.
Yes.
That's what I do.
And how long have you been doing this, and how important are people to your endeavors?
I've been doing this for more than a decade.
Okay.
Mostly on social media for the last 3 years, yes. But on the ground, we've been doing, because I've been doing quite a lot of marketing, speaking, engagements, and all that. But I think it has picked up the last 3 years on social media, because that's when the time I decided I'm going full throttle on this. Now, on the second question on the minds of people, that one has been close to 2 years now, because I realized after some point, because you do social media for some time, it hits you that this is what actually people are looking from you. And it got to a point where people are like, you are more of this than this. Then I started noticing as I was doing because I used to do real estate before. I've sold high-end property on social media and other things, cars and all that. But the speaking part and the storytelling part is what I realized this is what I'm actually naturally good at. And since it's helping and assisting people, why not continue doing this? So for the past 2 years now, that's what I've been mainly focused on.
That's very interesting. So 3 years of full throttle social media pushing.
Yeah.
And I have to ask, what are your most active social media accounts? And you have the 100 videos philosophy. What is that about?
Now, good question. The new age of social media is geared towards who gets attention faster than the other ones.
Right.
My philosophy is who gets attention and keeps it. TikTok is the best at growing anybody's following faster than these other ones.
Right.
Why? The algorithm is more focused on a collective of the entire world, not the person who is famous. Back in the days, we used to glorify celebrities who are on media, news anchors, radio, even the weatherman was a celebrity. Nowadays, no one cares who reads the weather, who even cares anymore.
Right.
But my biggest is TikTok and then Instagram. Instagram is one of those platforms that you don't really understand until it starts hitting you that this is working. Because mostly everybody on Instagram is about the lifestyle, and that's what has been pushed by Instagram, that this is a lifestyle. But it changed the minute TikTok came in because of Instagram Reels. They started pushing content that is interactive with other people. So if you're pushing content on Instagram and it's just lifestyle and there's no engagement, most of the time you find people might follow you, but you cannot pull them together to do something. My whole ideology behind these two is change people's minds to think for themselves, make them understand that they are capable of a particular thing without me being there by the content I produce. Why? The more attention you gather, the more you have. The more attention you gather with information that they can use to assist themselves in their own lives, that's the time they come back to you. The same way I have the concept of the Godfather. I'm answering your question of 100 videos.
Yes.
My concept is behind the Godfather. The Godfather is the person we all go to for answers.
Yes, that's for sure.
If you listen to my content, most of it is around so many things, but it's more of a storytelling that relates with you as an individual. Once you listen to it, it hits you a certain way. You tend to think about something that is going on in your life.
Yeah.
So it goes back to the thought-provoking speaker. Now, the 100, so the Godfather comes in where you have so much information about different things, but it's narrowed down to the way you narrow down. I do finance. So in finance, what exactly do you do? Do you sell insurance? Are you a banker? What do you do? So mine is narrowed down to changing that mindset. Is it in business? Come. Is it in relationships? Come. Let me change your mindset. The 100 videos concept came in the day I realized that you can do 1,000 videos and nothing ever changes for you. Because there is no why in your videos.
You know what you're doing.
There's no purpose in it. What we call a purpose. I used to do real estate before. I used to post lifestyle and all that. The videos are, especially on YouTube, I think they're still there. But it never gathered much traction. Why? I was posting videos. I get the views, maybe sell a few houses here and there, but then what? Then it hit me that once you start doing the first video, 5 videos, 10 videos, 50 videos, you start to narrow down on this is what I'm actually good at as compared to everything else that I'm doing. So let me focus on this. The minute you get to, by the time some people I've assisted a few people, most people, they start understanding what they actually supposed to be doing when they get to 50. Some people are they learn a bit faster by the time you get to 20. By the time you hit your 100 video, you should be able to understand that I'm very good at this. So everything else that comes around this, I delegate it. You understand your why clearly. Why? Because the viewers will tell you. And I'm not saying that you're not supposed to be listening to what the viewers are saying so that you know who you are. No. The viewers will ask you for. Like, I've gotten to a point where before I started doing podcasts, I had not gone to any. I'd gone to for TV interviews and radio, but it was merely to sell houses. Now people are demanding for it. Come to a podcast, go to a TV interview, go to this. Why? They've been listening. They want more. Because you see, I do a lot of short videos.
Yes.
Now they want long form content. So that demand, once it's created, now I'm able to feed it. I would not have done that without reaching that 100. On that, if I may add, that 100 videos, it's not merely waking up and making videos. It's having a strategy on, I want to make videos on this. You might not understand what exactly, but make videos on that. Heck, pick anything. You have coffee, talk about coffee. By the time you get to the 100, you'll have refined everything to do with coffee. Robusta, Arabica, from Ethiopia, from Kenya. You have done all that. So people will even tell you, can we buy coffee from you? Can we import from you? Can we come and brand something that you brand your shirt, brand your cup, something? That's where these 100 videos concepts comes from. And I've seen so many changes with so many, especially business people, when they do it. It makes their mind clear on what business they are in, especially on social media.
Our understanding for your quest or your purpose is to be able to touch and change the course of people's thinking, their belief in themselves. And 1 billion people is not a small amount. Even the late Martin Luther King Jr. bringing together 250,000 people was, it was a phenomenal thing that goes down in history as one of the biggest crowds to ever gather in one place to listen to one person.
Yeah.
So these 1 billion people, you have a way of reaching them, which is in one or another social media. You have in person, you have friends, you have beneficiaries of your services and products. And we would love to understand, how do courses come in, teaching people the mentalities, the intentions behind their intentions, the intentionality in living, and so on and so forth, enlightening them across an array of topics that you know best. So we would love to understand, how do courses come in, this.
A good leader
Mm-hmm.
is one who educates and provides words that enlighten the person to take the vision further than they see it.
Yes.
Without their existence. That is what makes any form of good leader.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot thus reach 1 billion people by myself. I have to educate people on what exactly and how exactly I'm doing that thing for them to become my salespeople, to push that agenda further and faster.
Your ambassadors.
Yes. With this in mind, I have the plan of how, which is a very lengthy plan, but the timeline also is what is against me, in the sense that the schooling system that we have currently, it messes us up in a way that we are not taught how to think. We're not taught to think because we are taught to be in that system, to stay there.
Right.
Noting this, teaching more and more through social media is one part of creating these people who are going to assist me in getting this. But there are some of them who are going to be staunch followers, like we call staunch Christians, but you have to train them in other ways for them to grow within themselves, do their own businesses, understand their own selves, understand their businesses, understand how to do public speaking and all that. Courses help with that because I'm able to teach directly and give exact details on how to, as compared to generally making videos online and talking about different topics. That creates a following, yes.
Yes.
And that creates a brand, yes. But these ones who actually come to joelmkaraoke.com and learn from there, they have one, access to me directly. So after you do your courses, which right now we currently have 8, but you're going to introduce way much more. When you study the course, whichever it is you're going to study, and you don't understand a few things on application, you have access to me to directly question this and this. You have access to other people who can assist you depending on what course you took to implement it. When you merge these two together, you have a school that gives you applicable information. You have access to mentorship, and you have access to understanding where we are headed. Yes.
And that's a very interesting way of going about things. And expertise, you said you've done this for more than a decade. It takes about 10,000 hours to achieve mastery. And people like the Godfather had understood their game. They had done it for long. They had defined the value that they bring to the table. And I would love to understand from the Godfather, either part 1, part 2, or part 3, where we see Michael as a young man, he becomes a father, becomes the Godfather. Then later on in his old age, things kind of turn, I don't want to say against him, but you know how it went. I would love to understand, in the Godfather, the whole set, who do you see yourself as the character? What character would you say you portray?
First, I'll say this: picking myself and associating me with the Godfather, that's an accolade that I would not really accept, because that is the Godfather. He is the Godfather.
He is him.
He is him. With that in mind, I cannot associate or say that I'll be that in any way. I can only be a version of Joel. that I
Right.
can create, because there's Joel and then there's that godfather. So there's Joel who's going to be a godfather in a different aspects,
In his own way.
And that is what I'm building.
In his own
With respect with respect to, there was a godfather who has taught me and very many others how to be and how to relate with people through relationships, because a godfather is a person we go to because he has built so many relationships with so many people. That is why we go to him for advice, for counsel. That is what Joel is building, but with respect to
Joel.
He is the godfather.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
What are the key maybe takeaway or key points or takeaways from the godfather that you got as a person?
3. One, time is the most important thing any man has. We tend to waste it because we think we have as much of it as possible, especially when we are young. We move around and do different things because we think, I can do this maybe later. I can marry later, I can get kids later, I can do this business later, I have so much time, so why not? I'll do that later. Let me enjoy life now. The older you get, you tend to realize, the busier you get when you're doing any form of business, you realize you realize 24 hours is barely enough. Because the more you want, the busier you get, the less time you have.
Yes.
Things we call fun become a waste of time.
Secondary.
And become you don't even now understand happiness, because the happiness for you is solving those problems for so many people and for yourself. 2, you understand the beauty of building meaningful relationships
over the long haul.
Yes. The saying that you are who you hang around, you understand it more the older you get, depending on where you want to go. In this world, you don't really need so many people. You don't need like 4 or 5 very close people who have very big networks around this village we call Earth. I call it a village because of the social media that we have, it has interconnected us easily. I can easily call anybody I want and talk to anybody I want from anywhere in the world.
Right
instantly.
now, yes.
The other, number 3, is you tend to understand branding better.
Branding, yes.
You see, the Godfather, there is a respect that he was accorded by the mere fact that it's the Godfather. So when we go there, it doesn't matter whether you're the president, big business person, or a very small person. It doesn't matter your level of class in society. When you go to the Godfather, there's a level of treatment, understanding, conversation you'll have, and there are things that you'll get from there. And there's also things that the Godfather will get. Branding becomes important by learning through him, because it takes a very long time to create a brand that people want to be associated with. It might mess you up a few times here and there, but people want to be associated with you because there are things that you do for them. There are solutions that you provide that
Only
when you
you
go
can
to
provide.
another person, it's not the same.
That's true.
Yes. Those are the main key things that you get from the Godfather. Yeah.
And I feel like you've refined your speaking for over a long time. Now we would love to understand. You speak different topics. You speak about porn, your position on masculinity, your position on rising men, falling men, the men who are men right now, and the men of the future. I would just love to understand what is the drive, or what's the driving force behind being a dynamic speaker, and what do you love speaking about?
You've asked quite a number of questions, so
Yes.
I'll answer them from the first one. One is, growing up, I always wanted somebody to assist me to understand things.
Yes.
I used to ask a lot of questions, and I always got in trouble because of that. But these questions have fostered and made me who I am nowadays. But these questions have made me who I am now. In that child I remember as Joel is a child when I look back, I'm like, I wish you knew this when you were 10. Now you'd be this. I wish you knew this when you were 18. Now you'd be here. So with so many questions and asking so many people, you get to know a lot about life. You get to understand quite a lot about the psychology of human beings and the nature that we are taught in this system, and how you're able to move out of that system for you to see it. I like calling it a helicopter view of what exactly makes a human, what makes a man, and what makes a woman, a woman. The way I speak in my mind is I'm speaking to that child, that 5-year-old, that 8-year-old. The first 8 years of your life, that's when you're programmed to be who you are, because that's when, if you grow up in a Christian society, they teach you to be Christian. Muslim society, they teach you to be Muslim, and so on. Every time I speak, I want to speak to that. So every video I make, I'm speaking to that child. Now, the flip side on this is when I'm speaking to that child, it resonates with every other person, because most likely you're also thinking the same thing. It's just that maybe you have not thought about it the way I'm telling it to you.
The storytelling bit now.
Yes, that is where the storytelling comes in. When I was a child, I used to ask these many questions, and the way it was answered, I could not understand it. Like, for example, in Africa, we have this problem of you can't speak to your father. Because when you go ask questions, he will bash you, or you won't even answer you. Go talk to your mother.
Ask your mother that.
I'm like, why don't you just now take that question you used to have, put it in a story format, say it, and the person understands it without using big words. Because that's one of the biggest issues I've seen with so many other speakers, where you use so big words that people don't understand. What are you saying? But when you tell it in a story, one, people remember. Two, people associate with themselves. So outside of me speaking, they're resonating with the story with themselves. So even if I leave, they still have gotten something that they can go use
on other people,
and on themselves. So me becoming this speaker is merely talking to that child within.
And where does marketing come in your speaking?
Now, marketing has grew from, I've done marketing for close to a decade now. When we were selling houses, real estate and cars and all that, I came to understand that when you're doing all these sales, what is the reason behind it? Of course, for so many people, or all of us generally, is making money. But what makes that person actually buy? So that question would arise every time I do any form of business with anybody, or marketing anything with anyone. And with time, it got me into psychology to understand the reasons why these people buy these things. With that, it has become very easy for me to pick any product, be able to move it with ease and quickly, not by comparing it, not by taking one and putting it together, but by making sure whatever it is you're going to market, people are either going to resonate with it, people are going to demand for it, or people are going to want to be associated with it. This is what I do with marketing, and that's where it generally came from. Yes. Oh yeah, and merging. Merging these two is you cannot be online and be a speaker if you're not marketing. Because when you're doing these two things, one thing is happening outside of you. You're building a brand. That brand cannot be built if you don't understand the marketing bit and the speaking bit that you're doing. Because you're merging them together as you go. So that is what people are resonating with by seeing you and listening to you every other time you speak.
Really captivating. And maybe somebody is a small business at home, a startup, maybe they're just getting started, they've just gotten their first sales or orders, or they've marketed, and some of it is working, some of it is not working. What would be your advice to them?
I'll take one. I'll answer you this question based on Simon Sinek's famous quote, or talk. You need to understand only three things when it comes to your business or generally life. One is why. Why are you doing that thing? Why are you selling that product? Why you? You're selling a phone. Why you? You're selling a phone to why? Once you understand your why, and the best way to answer your why is, do you want to run away from poverty? Do you want to build something? Why is it that your why has to be so big? You wake up in the morning to go do it. It's not working. The why reminds you why you should go
do it.
Then two is what. What are you supposed to do? Now, based on your why and the product that you've picked, that I'm going to sell this to get me out of, or to get me that why, what are you doing about it? Now, here brings in a lot of questions, but you can narrow down to, my why is this, I'm going to do this. The what. Once you pick the what, you can pick a product, you pick a service, whatever it is you're going to pick. Now, the last question is, how? You see, like my speaking, I've used social media. So how I'm going to reach this 1 billion people is through social media. Why? It's a scalable unit. But if I decide I'm not going to be on social media and I want to reach 1 billion people, by the time I just move around Africa, it will take me decades or millennia. But through social media, I can reach them even in a day. I can post a video and it goes viral. And every video I've posted before that now hits those millions of views. And
Yes.
people. Once you're able to understand these three questions as a business person, it gets you easier. It gets things easier because now it's clear. I'm doing this because of this, and this is how I'm doing it. So let's go.
What is your why?
My why is still goes back down to that boy who was always confused, always asking questions, and when you're asking the questions, you don't really understand how this system works. You see, I didn't grow up with all these networks, all these people. I grew up just a normal guy from Nyeri who's trying to figure out life, who's trying to hack things and understand things. If that boy could know what I know now and could learn the things that we are learning now at that age, imagine the kind of people we would have who, one, have a mindset that is so clear on their path. Two, people who think, because school never teaches you how to think. School teaches you how to stay in that system so that you follow the orders. Go to school, finish school, get a job, get a wife, get kids,
Die.
That's the system. So if I'm able to remind that young boy, you need to open up your mind. You need to think. That why is enough for me to do this every single day, whether it's going to work or not. There is somebody somewhere who's thinking or going through the same. So they're going to change. That mindset is going to change. And with that, for me, a bit of segue for this, there are times I meet or I get emails or DMs from people who quit things. Someone quit smoking. Another guy told me they had divorced with the wife. He filed for marriage again with the same woman because he realized the problem was not the woman, it was him.
Yeah. You filed for marriage. You asked the state to allow you to get married again.
Yes, to the same person. And the guy sends me a DM and tells me about it, and we talk, and I'm like, okay. I realize this has nothing to do with me. Nothing. I'm simply a vessel being used by God to reach that kind of a person to change. Why? The whole essence of God is love your neighbor unconditionally as you love yourself.
Yeah.
Anytime that happens, I'm like, thank God. It's not me. It has nothing to do with it. I'm simply a vessel that's being used to do this. And that's why every time that those kind of things happen, I'm like, yes. Thank you. See what you've done? Let's go.
Let's continue.
Let's do it. Yeah. Let's keep doing it. Yeah.
And you've been met with success, and maybe in equal measure you've been met with adversity. And when it comes to dealing with people, what would you really like term as success? Or how many people have you touched at once and said, okay, let's go for bigger, let's go for better? That DM, that, video that went viral, that campaign that you did, and it was, oh, okay, it was just, a big moment for you. What would you term it as?
First, you cannot quantify success by the number of lives that you touch, because the metrics are not in numbers form.
Okay.
What I mean is, I can't say because I have a number of views, I have a few millions of views on a video or something,
right.
that this number of people have changed. No. We can pick, say, a few things we've done. Like I have a playlist where I call it Mindset on TikTok. I think it has more than 100 videos. But out of that, maybe a few thousands of people have sent DMs or emails. If we take it on that metric, maybe I can say those are the number of people who've changed. The only way I can quantify this is as we gradually grow, because we are growing steadily and fast. How many people outside of communicating with me are actually changing their ways? If I was able to get that number, I'm sure it's a big number. As we grow, majority of people who change, most of them don't even comment. Most of them don't even follow.
They just listen to what you say.
They go do. They listen and they go do. Some business people, they listen, go apply, and things start changing, but they never tell you. In my mind, it's not about how many. It's not about views. It's not about followers. It's about those that I can't see. Are they growing? How do I know they're growing? By the type of content that I put out. Who is coming back? Who texts? Who calls?
Okay.
What do they say? That's how I'm able to quantify whether this is working or not, by just simply what are they saying. Then sometimes
the feedback.
Sometimes we do, because maybe business people can try this. Sometimes I do videos to test what kind of people are listening to this. So I'll do a video and it has a call to action that is not a normal call to action, like call me so that we talk about this. No. I'm waiting to see what people are going to talk about in the comments. So I'll attack something. I'll attack a mindset, an emotion to trigger it, but not say anything on the comments. So I'll let the people who have been following come and talk on my behalf. For example, there's a day I'll not use a cup, because I normally have this cup with tea. So I'll not use it and then attack that thing. The people who have been following, somebody will come and say, why is the cup today? Oh, the milk ran out or something. You're not supplied the milk. People are going to come there and tell them, focus on the message. We are never here for the cup. So I'm like, okay, so you actually listen. Then you look at those likes in that type of comment. How many are they? That's why you're able to know
the feedback
again, now. Between this one who is attacking and this one who's telling him, focus. We're not here for that. Which ones are many? That's how you know whether this thing is working or not.
What is your working life philosophy? Like, what is your philosophy for living? What are those things that you live your life by? What do you say yes to, and what do you say no to?
That's a very good question. One is now. I think I've wasted a lot of time before, especially in my 20s, trying to figure out so many things instead of actually taking action on, let's just go.
Yes.
Do it, you will figure out as you go. One is now. Every day I wake up, I'm like, okay, we've woken up. Let's go. You are supposed to do what? Let's do it. I never wake up nowadays and think, tomorrow we'll do this. No. Even if there's the calendar says tomorrow we're supposed to be here, what are we doing today? Can we, before I sleep, have we done this and this and this that we said we were going to do? And if I didn't do it, why? how should I have done this better? Every day. It's become a part of my life because time is not on my side. Not because I'm racing towards somewhere, but I'm like, I don't know whether I'll reach that 100 years that I want to reach. Two, I've now understood who I am and why I am who I am. I'm the producer, the creator, the director, scriptwriter, and the actor in my own life. So by focusing on so many things that mess me up, I'm supposed to sit down and look at the script. Is it working for me or against me?
Against you.
Change it. So that this actor that is out here can follow that script. So I'm able to move. With these two in mind, my philosophy now on this life is, there is no day I'll think of life in a negative way, because I'm the one creating that negativity. So if I focus on it, it grows. If I focus on the positive side, it grows. So I pick what happens to me and how I react to it. That's my philosophy.
So many times and in different avenues and ways, we've heard about men or women for that matter who have had to start building, everything burnt to the ground, then they had to rebuild. What is your story about, losing everything and getting everything back plus more?
That's a very deep question. And life has not been lifing as a younger generation might put it. How I'm able to, okay, I left everything in terms of business, in terms of looking for even anything to do, to just go back home and operate and going to do now in this life. I'm telling it in a very short format of what exactly transpired, because we don't want to dig deep into all that for today. But I've not always been this person who sits and talks about so many things the way I talk about them now, because I want to. You just need to do maybe better than what you did, because it took a while. And being a human, I cried because I'm like, okay, no one is helping me, no one is assisting me, friends disappeared.
Key point.
Oh yes.
Tunaona sana.
The people I thought who would work with, who had assisted and helped, I think I had an expectation of they need now to return the favor.
Yeah. Sure.
I learned the hard way that is not how life works. Things have at some point also again taken me back to zero. And when I say zero, is the point of confusion where you don't know what next. It has not been easy to rebuild from that what next, because when you don't know what to do next, life becomes very confusing. It becomes very confusing in that you wake up and you're just there. You go to sleep, but you don't sleep because, okay, you will sleep, okay. You wake up tomorrow, to what? Where are you? Being this lost soul messed me up in so many ways that I left everything in terms of business, in terms of looking for even anything to do, to just go back home and operate and figure out, okay, so what am I going to do now in this life? I'm telling it in a very short format of what exactly transpired, because we don't want to dig deep into all that today. But I've not always been this person who sits and talks about so many things the way I talk about them now, because I want to. I talk about them and I'm like this because of the things I've seen either in my own life or things that I've seen other people go through.
the heroic men who have made our civilizations the way they are, or have contributed greatly, um, at a point, had to start from scratch or restart or refocus. What is your story with rebuilding stuff? Because from my understanding and from my reading from the interviews I've done before, people have started, gotten obstacles on the way, failed, then have had to rebuild again. What is your story with rebuilding?
Well, that's deep. And I say it's deep because of I'll take a segue up again. Yeah? I'm not as I am because I just woke up and became. I'm not as I am because I went to school and learned to be as I am. I am as I am because of the things that have made me who I am, things that we call failure, loss, emotional breakdowns. And I'll pick only one part in life that got me to question my whole essence of who I am. When we were selling high-end property some time back, I think I reached a peak, what I would call my peak as an agent in selling. It was really good. Things were going very well. Everything was okay. I made a mistake, quote unquote, and thought this is it, so I don't need to do more. So I slowed down, thinking now this is just going to continue. And I'll not go deep into what exactly transpired, but things fell apart. I lost every single thing. I got into a level of success of gaining what every man would say is, now you're doing it. There's that one point where a man says, now you're doing it. And it became so bad because I could not collectively collect myself to go do that again. Why? My why didn't make sense. Why would I go back to doing what I was doing and I didn't actually like it? It's the money I liked. I would not wake up any day and be like, now let's go do this. I would wake up to be like, client. So which one are we selling? Who are we talking to today? So I spent a lot of time trying to figure out that why. And it messed up quite a lot. But if I had not taken that time away from what happened and losing all that, I don't think we'd be having this conversation the way we're having it now, because it has built a very different man in everything I do, be it family, be it business, be it relationships. They are more focused on the future than what we can gain right now. I'm more focused on building and understanding self than looking at what I might always get out of everything I do. It's more of, let's build something. Let's do something that will actually assist somebody to grow, to become better, to think better. It's been a process, and because people say life is a journey to where I don't life is a process, and that process, when I look back at it, I don't regret any bit of it, because I would not be who I am right now. This open-minded person who has dreams that wake him up every day, and I'm like, we are at it, we are still here, okay, now let's go. Yeah.
Has your house ever been, maybe locked because you did not have enough rent to cater for a month? Rental installment. Have you ever lost maybe a girl you thought you'd do forever with? Have you lost kids before? What have you lost for you to become the man that you are today?
Hey, bro, your questions are deep, eh? What have I lost to be the man I am today?
Yes.
I've lost girlfriends, I've lost things, I've lost a car, I've lost houses, I've lost. Okay. My answer
What
would
have
be
you
this.
not lost?
My answer would be this.
Mm.
The one part where I remember I knew for sure if I don't get out of this, now I'm done. Is the day I realized I had lost myself. I had actually lost myself because I had not figured out why are you doing any of all this. Because now you're down. Okay, you need to get up. Why? You know, when you're down, when you're fully down, most men might understand this. There's a time also I've been auctioned after buying every single thing. At that moment, you don't think through how to get out of this. You think of, okay, now we are here. You're panicking and you don't know what to do. In moments in life when I was like, I lost myself, is when I woke up and I had no clue what do I do next. That is the greatest and the worst loss, I would say. Messed me up and made me who I am now. Because I remember a day I was in Nakuru. I was in Nakuru at my sister's place. I was just seated. I love sitting outside and just thinking. I just seated outside and I'm like, if you continue with this, the way you're doing it, you're going to continue losing yourself. And the minute you lose to yourself to the point where you cannot come back, because there's a point you lose yourself and you can't come back, you're done. And I'm like, it's like things just changed. That the situation didn't change. Please get that. The situation did not change. But the mindset of now I need to be clear on, I need to wake up and actually go do something about this because this is not you. This is not you. I would have conversations with people around that place and I'm like, I do not want to be here. I would call some people and I'm like, I don't want to be with you. I call past clients and I'm like, I don't want to continue talking with you. I want that. How do I get that? I have no idea, but somehow let me focus on
going to get it.
That has shaped every decision that I have now, every decision I make now, every movement I have, everything I do. Yes.
Wow, and at this point in your journey, what would you say about the current moment today, this week, this month, past month? How's it been? Like, where are you in your life right now?
I'm in a point in my life that there is no stopping what I'm building. I honestly do not care who has to come and try push me down. I'll still build it. Why? And in this conversation, I'll say a lot of whys, but why? Because now I get it. Now it's clear. Now it's clear that you're doing that. Will you like it? Heck no. Will you love it? No. Will you be happy? No. But we are doing that. That gets me going, and it's amazing.
In your journey of professionalism, I know you have encountered many things, and we'd love to understand attracting an international clientele. How do you do it? How do you sustain it? How do you know that tomorrow is catered for?
I'll answer that question in 3 ways. Yeah. First, you need to understand what message you're pushing.
Yes.
Once you understand what message, you need to figure out how you're going to do it. Now, once you figure out how, you need to actually understand the metrics that make up what it is you're doing. For me, I'm like, out of 8 billion people, 4% of this world understands English. And I don't know the exact figures, but a certain percentage understands Kiswahili, and a certain percentage understands Kikuyu, the language that I speak, and Sheng. So out of all these, I was like, this 4% is a bigger and broader market. Let me use this first.
English first.
The English first. Once we push that up to a certain level in terms of numbers, following viewership, likes, and all that, now we can diversify into other bigger languages, Mandarin, Spanish, French, and all that. Not that I speak most of them, but nowadays we have AI, you can change that. Yeah. Moving and shaping up this thing that I'm developing. The way I plan it is not just on thought and process and building it for scale. It's more of, do you understand the minds of people in that? I traveled once, let me just take a quick segue. I traveled once to Uganda and Qatar, and I realized the same problems you have there and the same problems a man has in Qatar are the same exact problems. It's just that these one are different, is from a different race, they speak a different language. But the problems are exactly the same. Difference also maybe would be scale. Maybe their problems are worse than yours, but almost the same thing. When it comes to loss of things and all that, the feeling is the same. So when I speak and as I'm building this business, my mind does not go down back to from this part of the life that we live in, or I'm from this part. So when I speak, I'm speaking to these ones. No. It goes to, I'm speaking to all of these people. Oh. It goes to, I'm speaking to all of these people who have the same need. Yeah.
Same need, different parts of the world. Yes.
And people are exactly the same in different places. It's just that we are shown, mainstream media has taught us to look at life, when we are growing up, to look at life as if we are different. We are not. We are honestly not. It's just that we have different ways of looking at things because we are taught different ways of looking at them. But the problems we have here in Pakistan and China and the US are almost the same. Just the levels that are different. Yeah.
It's currently 18, and let me take you back a little bit to about six months or more. 6 months, between 6 and 8 months, 9 months ago. There's a statement you used to say a lot, and I would love to understand better, maybe in person. You used to say, do not copy, create. What does that statement mean to you, and why is it an important maxim in your life?
I love your question today. There's nothing new under this sun. There's a Zach and there's Joel. Both of these are men.
Yeah.
Why would I come to Zach, who, let's say, hypothetically, is selling a car and Joel is selling a car? Why would I pick Zach over Joel? That is what differentiates these two. Now, knowing this, these two are copying from somebody or they are learning from somebody. So somehow there's something that this one has that if you look at somebody somewhere who's already done it, that they're picking from. But people are coming to this or not that one. Why you should not copy exactly what somebody is doing, speak like them, dress like them, do generally everything like them, is because of this answer now. We need to be able to differentiate why you from why this other person.
That's for sure.
That what we now, after some time, when you build it for some time, we call it branding. It's very important. So please, it is very important for you to be different in the way you speak, the way you articulate your words, the way you dress, every single thing that you do. So that when I look for, in this case point, when I'm looking for a car, I'm able to tell that one is different from this because this one gives us stories about the car, the things that I can use with the car, the things that I can do with the car. This one tells us the specs about the car. So if I'm interested more in specs, let me go talk to this one. If I'm interested more in use case, let me go to this one. You must differentiate yourself from people in this world because we are not the same in any way. Yeah.
And what makes you? What makes you somebody with continuum, consistency, discipline, and commitment when it comes to being high value brand?
My why? That's it.
Your why?
Like I said earlier, I always think of the child within and the children within people. What would you be telling that child growing up? What would you be teaching that child growing up that you know right now? The same question that is posed on so many. If you went back to your 8-year-old self, what would you tell yourself?
Tell yourself, yeah.
That is my why. And that is what makes Joel. No matter what I achieve or accomplish in this world, that will always be, there is everything I go back to. Whether I'll get to 90 or 100 years old, I'll always go back to what did that child want. So what do these children that I talk to want as when they grow up?
If, hypothetically speaking, you were to have kids of your own, maybe you do, maybe you don't, or you'd have a chance to marry. First of all, would you love an arranged marriage where they bring your spouse and you guys live the way you live after that? Or are you okay, fending for yourself? And are you pro promiscuity or against it?
Base level answers first, and then we go deeper into them. I'm all for two people of the opposite sex coming together to build something, to become one. Why? I understand the laws of nature and the laws of the universe. Everything has a positive and negative side, meaning also everything has a male and a female side.
Yeah.
For things to work in this life, they have to be in balance.
Yes.
That's why I am for people coming together to build, to be and be one. On the other side, when it comes to promiscuity, okay. On the other side, when it comes to being promiscuous, and this might be a bit controversial in the way I put it, but let me explain in the way people might understand. It depends on where you come from as a culture. When you talk of Muslims are allowed to marry more than one wife. Some Christian cultures are not allowed. You're allowed one wife and that's it. Then when you look at other people, they marry because they've gathered a certain level of wealth. And that is why women, even when a broke man is cheating, a woman will be pissed off and say, this man is cheating on me. But when a wealthy person is cheating, the woman goes like, this other woman is trying to steal my man
from me. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I'm not for it, because anybody who has one person who's with them and they know for sure this is my person and they assist me in everything I'm building, and they are together, they are with me because there is what we are building, will tell you that being with that one saves you a lot of stress, time, and movement. Movement, I mean the times you find yourself you're just moving but you're not going anywhere. This person brings you back, centers you, and shows you back to you are doing that. Sasa, you've started going to other places. Focus on what you are doing. That union is very important, and that is one of the biggest decisions any man will ever make in their lives. Who you marry. You asked about arranged marriages. Mostly Indians do that. And I won't say I'm against it, because it works for them and it has been working for centuries. So on my side, I would not accept it because I don't understand it from what I understand with Indians. I'm for understanding, meeting somebody and understanding who this person is as they are, not where they come from, who they are
as a person.
So am I able to now live with this? Do I want to build with this? Do I want to have kids with this? Yes.
Where do you hope to, where do you hope to take what you create, what you build? What do you hope to leave behind as your trail or your legacy?
That question has always bugged my mind for years. And The only answer I'll give you is, if every person who listens to me gets to a level where things become clear in decision making, things become clear in who they are and why they are who they are, things become absolutely clear in that they are in a system designed for them to live in that system, but they do not have to live in that system the way it's designed, then I'll be good. The reason I have my 1 billion people that I'm looking forward to speaking to is because I want people to get this. That mindset shift, that is my legacy. If I can have, and when I have as many in the millions speak like that and say, I've changed because of, I've become like this because of, for the betterment of their lives. Because you see, the statement that God said, love thy neighbor as you love thyself, it didn't necessarily mean because you're going to gain anything. No, it was all for, what would you do to that person? Whatever you're doing to that person, you do it to yourself. If you can't, why are you doing it then? So if these people can live to that level where they're free to move, they're free to think, and freedom is not because you're in shackles. No, freedom is in the mind. The day you understand you're the one who controls this, that's my legacy. Now I'm good. So there's no end to it until the day I'm buried.
So there's a whole continuum. Yes. You just have to do it every day consistently, in a very committed manner and a very disciplined way. That's a very nice way of going about things. And for those who will make it to the very end of this episode, what would you like them to take as their closing remark?
3 things. 1, realize now is the only time you have. There has never been time. It's now. And get it into your mind fully that you only have now. So whatever it is you think you need to do, wake up and do it
right now.
If you don't do it, no one is coming to make you do it. No one is going to get you out of your bed and come and push you. Joel, wake up and go do this. When you do this, here is a gift. Nowadays, you have a system in school where you graduate and there's even a graduation. From one level to the next, I'm like, why? Why are you graduating? You've not even tackled life yet. You don't know what life is. 2, please have a why. Don't just move in this life like you're promised something and then you pray for it and then sit back and wait because God told you, as a man thinketh, so is he. So I'll get that house that I want, I'll get that car that I
just think about it.
Just think about it and you will get it. My friend, you will slap yourself every day so that you wake up.
Yeah.
Have a why that makes you get up, go do something to get that thing. And realize the first point, the time that you will work on that thing, you need to live
as well.
Yes. So every day, don't just work on that why, live also. Spend time with friends, family, go do something new, learn some skill, do something that elevates this body that you live in. 3, and this one I look at them, no one cares. Again, no one cares about you more than you care about yourself. With this in mind, you'll have a very clear and vivid understanding of humans in this aspect. No one will come and do the things that you're supposed to do for you. When you lose what you have, people will disappear, and that's okay. Whatever it is you want, it is somewhere out there with somebody else. It's up to you to go get it. The minute you go get it and you find a block, you get a no, get another no, still go look for it, because for you, there's a reason you want that thing.
Yes.
Get that statement in your mind that, no, especially men, no one gives a about you. no one apart from yourself. This will save you a lot of nonsense, a lot of expectations, because we fail and we cry a lot because of expecting. Just because I've given you this, now I expect you to
give it back,
in return.
yeah.
Because I assisted you some time back, and I expect you to do the same. People will not do that for you.
That's for sure.
People will never be what you think they are. You'll be in love with somebody and they'll mess you up in future. Expect it, so that at least when it happens, it doesn't hit you to the point of going back to zero and not knowing what do I do next. Just a quick one and a bonus here. This life will have so many things that will hit you. The only question you should always ask yourself is, what next? You're down, what next? You're doing okay, something is coming, so what next? That's it.
Just remember, as a closing remark from me, life is but a just employer. If you bargain with life for $1, you shall get $1. If you bargain with life for $1 billion, if you ask life for $1 billion, you can get it, but be ready to work for it. Thank you so much for making the time, for acting so promptly on this idea, and may we fly higher than Talk Active Minds has ever seen before. Thank you, my international audience. Thank you for always tuning in. Highly appreciated.
Cheers, bro.
It's okay. Thank you.